going on, guys? My name is Austin. This is the Bodies in Business podcast. And today's episode, we're going to talk about treat meals. And it is day 18 of the 25 days of Fly Bodies. So I know you're getting towards the end here. We got about a week left of these videos. And I figure that one thing that I always think about is like treating yourself if you're going on a hard journey in your wellness life, right? I'll give you a little story. I remember in my college days, I was really trying to get to the peak of my athletic abilities. And I was like, man, I need to rein in how many desserts I eat. So I put a basically restriction on myself to say, I'm only gonna have 52 desserts a year. So one dessert a week, so that I know, okay, you're only allowing yourself one time where you can go, ham on a dessert that you really like. And this kind of gets into like a lot of psychology of like what we think we're doing good and what we think we're doing bad. And there's a lot of psychology behind, why we eat the way we do and why we work out the way we do, why we live a certain life and who we are. So I want to dive into just a couple of reasons. Well, let's get back to the 52 desserts. So that whole year I documented my 52 desserts, and I actually had it, I have it somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. Throughout the year, I would be like, all right, are pancakes a dessert? Because they're kind of a dessert on the dessert status, but people use them as a breakfast food. Or oftentimes towards the end of the year would be like, okay, well, is this a dessert or is this just something sweet that I want to eat? So it honestly gave me a deep dive into like how I feel about certain foods and what I consider a dessert. I think it kind of helps you when you put those types of restrictions on sometimes to really dive into like, okay, if I really want to pick and choose what a dessert is, I want to be, very particular about maybe eating this piece of cake versus, indulging in this like little bitty donut that I've had a million times. So there were like pros and cons about doing that 52 dessert thing, but I know a lot of people have trouble with like treat days, or people call them cheat days. I call them cheat days because I think a lot of experiences are a treat. And I think food is one of the coolest experiences people get to enjoy in their lives when it comes to like very exciting and fun foods. So it's an experience for me when I get to try something new. Like I want everybody to treat themselves to cool experiences with food, because I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted sometimes. But then when you get to have a meal that's absolutely incredible, you probably don't forget that meal. Like I never forget going to Fogo de Chao with my friends in college and almost every other time I've been, because the experience is amazing. Anyways, so I wanted to talk a little bit about why we might feel bad when we have a treat meal, or what some people call a cheat meal. And number one, it's identity conflict. This isn't who I'm trying to be. When you commit to a wellness goal, you often adopt a new identity. I'm someone who eats clean. I am disciplined now. When you eat something outside that identity, your brain experiences cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of acting in a way that doesn't match who you believe you are becoming. The guilt isn't about the food, it's about the story you're telling yourself about what that food means. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons for me why sometimes it's kind of tough to eat, I would say, not the healthiest of food, because people look at me like, Austin must eat healthy all the time. He wouldn't eat a donut. He wouldn't eat a piece of cake. And that's just not true. I love those things. I love having, a pizza every now and then. I love having, a big bowl of pasta every now and then, maybe once in a blue moon. I think people look at that, or whenever, I have done enough soul searching to know like that one meal isn't going to set me back years and years. And it's honestly, I look at it as an experience and I'm like, oh, I want other people to enjoy this if it's really good. So that's why I document those experiences. I think it's an own personal journey for most people to figure out when you want to treat yourself and how you do that. And it takes time to figure that out. I have figured out for myself that maybe 1 to 2 meals a week, I usually like to indulge in things that I probably normally wouldn't get in a normal circumstance. So I'll either get like a cauliflower pizza and like maybe a cookie brownie from Vons at night, or the next day I might go get a really good breakfast burrito from a place and like get all the fixins, get some chips, get all these other things to make it really, really good. And maybe even get like a pastry from the place. So I have found for me, having like 1 to 2 treat meals during the week is very helpful for me to say, I want to eat healthy food throughout the week that tastes good. But I reserve myself to get like, something kind of crazy that I normally wouldn't get 1 to 2 times a week, so that I feel like I can still have those cool experiences with food and other people, because I know a lot of other people like having those experiences too. And it's really fun sometimes. So that's it. Treat meals are a little tricky when you're first starting out, and it's helpful to give yourself some leeway in that department. Like I will say, like in my past, the more strict I was with myself and my diet, the more I would like go off and like not binge, but like I would kind of go crazy on a certain meal if I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat, if I was going to have to eat super clean the next week. So having a piece of dark chocolate and almond butter at night for like almost like a dessert is like a treat for me. So I'm almost having like a daily treat sometimes when I have those little indulgences. And so if you do that, you don't feel like maybe only one day or, 1 day out of the week, you have to go crazy and have a ton of food that you normally wouldn't eat and make yourself sick, because I've been there. And so that's it. Giving yourself little treat meals. What I mean by that for me would be like the dark chocolate and the almond butter or something like that. Obviously, everyone is going to be a little different, and you can find your song, find your voice when it comes to that. Food's crazy. It's a journey. It's an experience. It's what we have to eat, and we have to figure out what works best for us. So hopefully that helps. I know I kind of rambled on about a bunch of different topics, but treat meal was the topic for this day. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching. Get after it.